He was reincarnated as a powerful dragon, and now he is feared and adored by women. If you like the video, subscribe and like it, thank you. In the square of the Imperial Palace, a throne where the king is sitting, and in front of him a girl lying on a pedestal in the center of the square, is a beautiful white-haired girl and lies chained hands and feet, and in his hands a bouquet of flowers. The king of Andreas tells the master magician that the princess is ready for the sacrifice and asks him if the black dragon will come for her. The master magician replies to his majesty that there is nothing to worry about, since the black dragon is really stupid and has arrived at the door to take the princess. The master smiles, while a huge dragon runs through the city, scaring the civilians. They shout that the black dragon has arrived, and in an instant the dragon appears near the pedestal and grabs the princess with his claw, freeing her from the chains, and flies high with her. While the dragon is unprotected with the girl, the master shouts to attack faster. The archers immediately shoot arrows. The master summons magic and the ground around him lights up with power. The spell hits the dragon, who screams in pain and flies away, wounded and bleeding, and the dragon flies to a cave and leaves the girl on the ground. He immediately lies down next to her, closing his eyes. The dragon begins to be surrounded by a blue light. He opens his eye and starts to grunt and cough, complaining that someone has spilled his circuits. The dragon freezes in astonishment, closing his snout with his paw. Thinking what kind of sound he just made, he was just trying to grunt. Shit. He looks at his paws surprised, not knowing whose claws they are. He flies scared, takes flight from the ground and immediately falls down feeling pain. He opens his eyes wide in surprise and looks at his paws in shock. He stands up, sees his reflection in the lake of the cave, and looks at the surface of the water surprised. Wondering if he really has been reborn as a dragon, nervous he starts to cry, wondering why he is now a dragon. Then someone lets out a moan in the cave. The girl, who is regaining consciousness, stands up, rubbing the back of her neck. The dragon approaches her, worried about how the girl is feeling. He thinks that the girl is not seriously injured. Suddenly an information window appears, greeting him. It informs him that the system of war and robbery is at his disposal, and it also informs him that the system of transformation and evolution is at his service. It also informs him that the system of atrocities is also at his service. The dragon, without wanting to read, wonders why there are so many systems and happily considers that he has been blessed by heaven. A new information window appears, where it is indicated that there are many systems, and the integration begins. The integration is completed, and the current system is an absolute transformation and an uncontrollable autonomous evolution. This is a system to fight evil and defeat dragons. The dragon studies the new window of information and tries to ask a question about how to use this system, but only grunts come out of his ossicle. The system informs him that the owner doesn't need to say anything. Just by thinking about it, the system will answer. The system grants him a special female favor that allows him to activate special abilities. He can restore his body and its individual parts if he kills a monster or played together with reward points, and if he kills a boss he will receive 0.5 system points. The dragon is curious about what kind of NPCs are in this world, as if it is some kind of game. He is informed that his request is being processed, but receives the news that the system permission is disabled, therefore he cannot answer his question. He informs him that he has kidnapped a special SSS-rated female and must continue with the kidnapping. While the girl is moving, the dragon was studying. But this is very scared to feel something in its tail. The girl moved and hugged his tail because he was very cold. The dragon knows that the SSS class is really unusual. Apparently heaven has blessed me. The system informs him that he has found a rare character, a SSS-rated waifu. The system asks him if he wants the corresponding panels to see the character's card. The dragon accepts, and an information window appears, in which is the girl's name and at 18 years old in elf years, class SSS, race impure blood elf, conditions, freezing, starvation, infection. She has only 2 days left to live and her skills are unknown. The girl's sympathy level towards the dragon is -80. She felt fear towards him. The system informs her that the sympathy level is very low, so she will not get system points or skills, therefore she needs to increase the girl's sympathy to 0 to get first level skills. The dragon is in shock when he reads the part that says, the girl only has 2 days to live. He didn't want such a rare character to be wasted. He cries of helplessness, while he watches how the girl keeps hugging her tail while shivering from the cold. The dragon doesn't know what to do, so he covers the girl with a skin he found in the cave so she doesn't feel so cold. With this action, his sympathy with the dragon increases 10 points. The dragon realizes that something as simple as helping the girl can increase the sympathy. He begs the system to first give him points and then he will increase the sympathy, but obviously he is rejected. He asks the system what he can do now since he is also dying. How can he hunt and increase the sympathy at the same time? He asks if there is any gift for beginners. The system informs that the owner is right, and as an answer they give the dragon a kit for beginners that includes a healing card only for emergencies. The effect of the card lasts 30 minutes, but as a consequence it consumes part of your life. They ask the dragon if he wants to use the card. The dragon is very impressed by this news. This card is his only chance. Finally the girl's body starts to weaken. It doesn't look like she can save herself. She is very weak. She is sweating and shaking. The dragon informs the system that he is using the healing card. The dragon gets up and tries to take an apple from a tree. He thinks to himself that being a dragon he can't feed only on fruit. He needs to find meat. Otherwise in half an hour he will weaken, and if he doesn't get enough food he himself could die of hunger. Then the dragon finds the carcass of a deer and meat around. He is surprised by the amount of food he has found. But he hears a strange sound and 3 level 25 wolves approach him. Our third rank beasts and growl as they advance towards the dragon. He knows that wolves are very territorial creatures and wonders if they were the ones who hunted the deer. Excited he adopts a fighting stance as he sees the animals approaching him. One of the wolves jumps to attack him, but the dragon lights up with blue fire, opens its mouth and launches a devastating energy attack, which incinerates the wolf on the spot, leaving only ashes. The other wolves are shocked and the dragon eliminates them with the same ease, finishing them off in seconds. The dragon flies towards the cave, lands still exhaling energy. The girl has already regained consciousness and trembling with fear for the dragon. The dragon stands up holding some fruits and looks at the girl lying in front of him. He thinks she is still unconscious, and realizes she looks very sick and doesn't know how to feed her if she is unconscious. Anna is lying on her back holding a stone as a weapon. She suddenly stands up and shouts at the dragon, calling him a creature and ordering him to leave. She runs towards the dragon with her improvised weapon, but instantly the dragon puts an apple in her mouth and the weapon breaks on her tough skin. The girl's eyes get big with surprise and she spits the apple out of her mouth. After wiping her mouth she asks the dragon if he plans to eat her. And dragon thinks he doesn't want to hurt her. He seems harmless, but Anna sees him as a huge monster with fire coming out of his mouth that is hovering over her. Dragon doesn't understand why the girl fainted from fear. The system informs him that Anna has a fever and fainted from fear. The dragon asks him if he will receive points for the wolves he killed earlier. The system informs him that the wolves were level 2 and hostile. The system points are halved. He is still congratulated for getting 30 points and for receiving his first reward. The store is now available. The dragon decides to look for some medicine according to the current situation. The system recommends him to take advantage of a special offer and spend 10 points to buy a bagel flower used in traditional medicine. The dragon does not know what the bagel flower means. In his past life he remembers that his grandfather told him that it was used to relieve fever. He is surprised to see that there are still things from his world here. The dragon accepts and buys the bagel flower. And a flash of golden light appears in front of him, indicating that the object has appeared. The dragon takes the flower with his paws and thinks about how he should use it. He realizes he has no other choice, so he takes the flower with his mouth, turns it into a paste and then tries to give the nectar to the girl, but while doing so, the kid effect had ended and he could not stand up. Her body feels heavy as her eyes slowly close. The girl wakes up and sees the dragon next to her, protecting her from the rain that enters the cave. She feels the taste of something bitter in her mouth similar to a medicine, and realizes that the dragon had helped her. Her sympathy for the dragon increases 20 points. She observes the fruits that were next to her and understands that the dragon has picked them for her, which increases her sympathy another 20 points. The girl thinks that the dragon seems tender, and her sympathy increases another 20 points. She with a little fear extends her hand towards the dragon asking it to wake up. It doesn't wake up, so she worries maybe she could have hurt it with the stone. She places her hands on its snout begging it to wake up. The system informs her that Anna's sympathy has increased by 100 points, and that the acting level of sympathy meets the first level. The system congratulates the dragon for reaching the initial level of skills and absorption and awards it 2,000 points. Another notification informs the dragon that he has learned the initial absorption skill. Now eating can quickly restore his strength and cause some regeneration. But his appetite will also increase. The dragon touches his stomach. He was very hungry. The dragon gets up and looks at Anna sleeping and begins to salivate, but he notices that the girl's sympathy for him is 90%. He closes his eyes and imagines a dish made with the girl, but he shakes his head. He won't do that. He can't eat Anna. Besides, the girl's sympathy for him is almost 100. He imagines Anna next to him telling him he was powerful, big and strong. He imagines Anna caressing him and telling him she loves him. But suddenly Anna starts coughing blood, even lying on the floor. The system notifies him that Anna only has another day to live. The dragon doesn't understand why he was so weak. He receives a message from the system that receiving this character in addition to acquiring skills will also give him an additional 2,000 points. The changes in the body have already reached a maximum value, and the skills that transform the body have opened the system store, which is being updated. The dragon realizes that Anna saved him in some way, but he still doesn't know what kind of illness he contracted. The medicine he gave her earlier only temporarily improved her condition. He opens the system store and studies the items available there. They offer things like pieces of food, glass of drink and some basic medicines, all this for 10,000 points. The dragon shouts angrily, the system is a fraud, she is sick and they offer him these stupid things. He doesn't understand what kind of joke this is. The story favors him, but apparently not the elf. However, the dragon looks at a dress he likes and begins to study it and throws glances at the sleeping girl. He exchanges 10 points for a dress that appears on the girl. The girl needs to be healed. He asks the system to show him the abilities that change the body, and is presented with the choice between external modifications, strengthening claws and fangs, steel scales and shape-shifting, and internal modifications. The system informs him that Anna is getting worse. She has leg ulcers, night sweats, sensitivity to touch, anemia, spasms and heart failure. The dragon hears someone say that they have found the dragon's lair and that it must be nearby. The dragon hides on the roof of the cave, analyzing the visitors who broke into his cave. They are the mercenaries of the Black Viper. The knight was level 21 and the girl called Selena is level 18. She is a fire mage. He understands that the mercenaries have not come with good intentions. He asks the system to improve the strengthening of his claws, steel scales and his fangs. The system informs him that the modifications were successful. The modification cost 1,000 points. The current number of points of the dragon is 130. A purple energy covers the claws of the dragon, and an electrifying energy covers his scales. The soldiers look at the sky, where the dragon flies, and shout that the dragon is flying. They have found him. The commander orders that her soldiers must defend themselves and prepare for battle. The dragon launches a roar and rushes towards the warriors, but does not attack them. It does the opposite and flies away. Selena watches the dragon fly and wonders if it seems only to her, or that the stupid dragon has changed somehow. She shouts to everyone that they must stop, something was wrong. The dragon lands and crushes a soldier with its claws and holds another one with its mouth. Commander Wall is surprised to see his soldiers dead. He gets up from the ground and shouts, raising his imposing sword and ordering the dragon to die. The sword hits the dragon's advanced armor and causes no damage. Wall wonders how he could not hurt the dragon. The dragon turns around, realizing why his back itched as much as a flea. Wall gets angry seeing the dragon's indifference, and asks what the dragon will do with him. The dragon holds him and replies that he should leave that question to Walls to think about his next life, then shoots a jet of acid at his head. The survivors run in panic. The captain had died, leaving the fight. Wall was headless, which was melted by the dragon's attack. The dragon reaches them and finishes off many soldiers. He watches one of the soldiers run into the forest. The system notifies him that he has won 150 points in this battle. The dragon thinks that it is little and remembers the witch that was not in the battle. The dragon takes off and flies towards the cave. At that moment Selena is healing Anna, and the healing energy runs from her hand to the girl. Then Selena sees the shadow of the dragon approaching, and shouts to move away, calling the dragon a monster. Her staff starts to glow, and she conjures the shackles spell, thus summoning a net of energy. Selena leans on her staff exhausted and says she is so tired. The dragon gets caught in the net, not knowing what is happening. Selena realizes she has no dragon breath left, and if she had known before she wouldn't have used it at all. Selena, seeing the dragon trapped, starts laughing. The dragon doesn't understand what the witch is trying to do. Selena hits the dragon in the stomach. The dragon angrily shouts that enough is enough, calling Selena a madwoman. But from the dragon's mouth, Selena only hears a frightening roar, breaks the bindings and crashes Selena to the ground, making her lose her staff. The dragon angrily wonders who is this final witch and why is she not answering, but Selena only hears growls and sees the dragon's terrifying face with red eyes. Then the dragon remembers that he is still not speaking in human language. The dragon asks the system how much it is worth to change his vocal cords, and the system tells him it is worth 300 points. However, the dragon only has 280 points. The system suggests him to take a loan, but the value of the loan has recently increased by 50% of the loan. The dragon, knowing that it is a scam, accepts. He has no other choice. The dragon turns to Selena and tells her that she must speak and answer who sent her to hunt it. Selena wonders if the monster can speak. The dragon shouts at her to answer the questions faster as she has no patience. Selena answers the dragon with a trembling voice that the king of her kingdom hired a squad of mercenaries to find and kill the dragon, all for the benefit of the king's health. The dragon asks what does the king's health have to do with it. Selena answers that there are rumors that the king has fertility problems and needs to eat the dragon's heart and reproductive organ to heal. The dragon gets angry when he hears that. His eyes glow with an evil fire, and he growls that of course only his heart is not enough, he also wants to eat his genital organ. At that moment King Henry is sitting on his throne and sneezes. The king asks what the master magician said. The soldier with a trembling voice said the magician said that the dragon has already crossed the plain of Malaga and has entered the forest of the silver moon. The dragon is young and has little strength. It has not gone very far in the mountains, however using the seal of tracking consumes a lot of strength and magical materials. The king, impatient, tells him what else he has to report. In another place in the mountains, Selena is tied to a large stone held by vines that do not let her move. She looks at the shadow of the dragon reflected in the cave. The dragon rummages through his bag looking for medicine, in that he finds a potion of divine light that accelerates meditation and also a potion of resurrection that restores health. The dragon walks towards Selena. He asks if she knows how to heal. She turns her face and answers again that she prefers to die before curing him. The dragon, in response to those words, lifts her legs while the girl closes her eyes with fear, but the dragon unexpectedly breaks the vines that were holding her. He takes Selena by her clothes and carries her towards Anna's body that is covered by a blanket. He asks Selena to cure her. Anna was lying down and sick. Selena is surprised and asks the dragon if he doesn't know that Anna is not a princess. The dragon answers that he does, and thinks to himself that any idiot would realize that humans don't give birth to a half-elf with fox ears and a fox tail. Selena, confused, asks him, then why is he trying to save her if he knows she is not a princess? The dragon wonders what to answer to that question. Since he cannot say it is because Anna is a rare SSS character, he answers hesitantly at first, that they do it because they are best friends. Of course they are best friends, and he thinks to himself that Anna's sympathy for him has already reached 90%, that is being best friends. The system notifies him that Selena's sympathy has increased by 20 points. Since he discovered a new character, Selena Loser, she is 19 years old, class SSS, condition good, black magic skills and a sympathy level of 30 points. The dragon is surprised again to realize that he found another rare character. He immediately asks him about how Anna is. Selena that Anna's situation is not good, her condition is serious, a resurrection potion is not enough. Selena tells him that she needs a completely clean environment, food, medicine and a good cleric, a mage specialized in healing. The dragon is surprised, he thought she was a cleric. She crosses her arms over her chest and replies to the dragon that not all people study healing magic. At that moment Anna wakes up and puts her hand on her heart, saying that it is good news that she is still alive. She thanks the dragon and tells him that she is not worthy of his help. The dragon smiles when he realizes that Anna has woken up. Selena is also happy. The system notifies him that Anna's emotional state is unstable and that the support of the host is needed. The remains of the chain are still on her arms and legs. The dragon, smiling, takes Anna in his mouth, and surprised Selena, shouting that although Anna said she was not worthy, not that she should be allowed to be eaten. The dragon releases the girl, leaving her free without her chains. Anna asks the Dragon Lord what he is doing and Selena shouts to release her. The dragon answers that this cave is no longer appropriate and they need to find a new shelter. Anna agrees with the dragon's words, calling him master and her sympathy increasing 10 points, reaching 100. The system sends her a notification that she has a new achievement and gets 1000 points. Selena expresses her joy for the delicious venison, and says that this is for her, and that she could not stand hunger anymore. She also covers her mouth delighted. The dragon thinks that he lived only for this wonderful moment. He eats roast meat with 2 beautiful girls that belong to him. The girls sit next to him while they eat. But some enemies approached with bad intentions. Although we will see that in the next part, where very curious things will happen. Like and comment if you liked the video and if you want a second part.